Hello, hello, good people. Welcome to ABC. I am your host, Ada Brooks, with Ada Brooks Consulting. Come on in the room. Let's see if we can get this live started. Kind of had some technical difficulties last week, and I hope we're not having that same issue this evening. And if so, then we'll just leave and come back next week. So if you can hear me, please let me know. Send me a thumbs up as you come into the room if you can hear me. If you can't, let me know that as well. So I want to make sure. There we go. I believe everybody can hear me. Yes. So, good evening and welcome everybody to another episode of ABC. I am your host, Ada Brooks with Ada Brooks Consultant. I hope everybody has had a great day on today. Let me turn my music down. It has been a beautiful day. Okay, and before we get started, I have to give a great big shout out and a beautiful happy birthday to my mother, Miss Dorothy Jean Poindexter. Happy birthday, honey. Enjoy your great day. That's from your daughter and all of the clan. So with that being said, of course, you know, if you have any HR questions, you can send your questions, comments, concerns to our email at abc@abchr101.com, or you can give us a call at 501-291-1650. Please remember to go by and check out our website. Of course, that's abchr101.com, and that is www.abchr101.com. We still have our Bright Creation t-shirts. We also have our beautiful I just lost my train of thought. You know, it happens sometimes. It's okay. Also beautiful creation t-shirts. There we go. We have those. Those are the newest ones, and they're only $20. So anytime that you purchase any apparel from ABC, you know, that goes toward a young person being able to attend our Dream to Dream Job Summit that's coming up in September of 2023. So plant your seed and sponsor a young person. They would greatly appreciate it. That is their opportunity to glean from the fields, as we say, to get information from a professional panel for the field of industry that they are interested in, and they will be able to answer questions. We're going to have breakout sessions this year. We have a whole new lineup this year, very different from last year. So I am really, really excited about that. So stay tuned for more information to come for that. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to talk to our young people on tonight, because I want to know, if this is your first job, there are some do's and don'ts that you should conduct yourself. And we're just going to go ahead and jump straight in. If you're on, say hello, and I will say hello back, because I speak. Good evening. How are you? Not sure. We want to make sure we speak to everybody. So, with that being said, I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts. If this is your young person's first time working, please know there's some do's and don'ts. And the first do's I'll give you a few. You want to make sure you show up early. You want to show up early. Not just on time, but you want to be early, because you never know if you're going to get caught in traffic. If there's an accident and you have to take a different route to work. So you want to make sure that you show up early, not just on time. Also, you want to be mindful of your time and attendance, because depending on what your company's policy is, guess what? If you miss more than if you're tardy more than 3 times, and if you're doing no call, no show within your 90-day probationary period, they can't terminate you. So let's be mindful of that as well. If they ask you to do something and you may say, that's not in my job description, guess what? It's in your job description. Do not say, that's not my job, because it's all about teamwork. So you want to make sure that you are helping out your other coworkers. Also, you want to make sure, if you're working in a particular industry, if it's fast food, and the policy states that you should pull your hair back and have your cap on, then you should pull your hair back and have your cap on. If they ask you to trim your nails because of sanitary reasons, and they can ask you to do that, 9 times out of 10 they'll ask you prior to before you accept the position, if you're willing to cut them down to a more active length so that you can do your job safe and effective. Then if you say yes, then that's something they expect for you to comply with. You also want to make sure your shirts are tucked in, your pants are pulled up. You want to make sure that you're not chewing gum, smacking gum in front of the customer's face. You want to also make sure you give good customer service. These are all things of your do's and don'ts if this is your first job for our young people. Remember, please like, comment, and tag this video to a young person so they will know. Also, you want to make sure that be mindful of how you speak, how you talk with your managers, because they're your managers, your supervisors, and your leaders. Try not to get combative if they ask you to do something. There's a way to communicate with them. Managers, leaders, supervisors, be mindful that this may be your young person's first job. So you may have to lead them a little slowly. So let's be mindful how we communicate with them as well, because it goes both ways. You also want to make sure that if you're going to call out, that you do it in a timely manner. Do not wait until 30 minutes before your shift and decide to call and say, I can't come to work. Because what's going to happen is that they're going to say you gave inadequate notice, and you probably ended up having to come in. So be mindful of that as well. In addition to try not to engage in any gossip, any office gossip, because the first thing they're going to say, well, I got it from John, and John got it from Sally, and Sally got it from Mary, and you're the new person, so you don't want to engage in any office gossip, the water cooler talk. Be mindful of your phones, because this is something that they've already probably gone over with you. Be mindful of your phone. They'll probably ask you to leave your phone in your locker, and you can only use your phone on your break. Don't say, well, I'm using my phone because Mary using her phone and Sally using her phone, but Mary and Sally has been there for a very long time, and Mary and Sally may be on their way out the door. So don't do what someone else is doing. These are necessary tips that is needed if this is your young person's first job. So be mindful of your extracurricular activities. You may say, but I'm not doing that. I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. But you smell like you smoking. You smell like you drinking. Just be mindful going into work, because what that is going to do is that they're going to want to do a random test on you. So all of these things are the do's and don'ts of your job. If this is your first job for a young person, we want to be mindful how we show up and how we conduct ourselves at work. We want to make sure that we give good customer service, because this is what the consumer is expecting of you. This is what your managers, your leaders, and your supervisors. So managers, leaders, supervisors, be mindful how you communicate. Make sure you go over the policy and procedures with the new employee the first day. And you also want to make sure you kind of do a refresher course at the end of their 90 days to find out, to let them know where they are and what the expectations are. Because if they're not meeting the expectations of the position that you've hired them for, they need to know before their 90 days so that you can see some type of improvement. So just be mindful. And young person, if you feel like you need a little bit more training, that you're not ready for the position, because they'll ask you, are you ready? Do you feel like you have it? And if you shake your head or you say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, then they're going to cut you loose. And you're going to feel like, oh my God, I didn't get enough training. So if you know that you did not get enough training, speak up ahead of time or say, can you go back over this step with me? And always have a pad and pen to take notes, so you can always refer back to your notes, because everybody learns different and they will kind of nudge you, push you out there. But you want to make sure that you're able to take your notes and you can get it and make it work for you. You're still able to do the job. You may get there a little different than the person that trained you, but make sure your trainer do not move too fast, that you're able to ask your trainer questions and say, hey, can you go back over this step with me? I do not have it. But we want to make sure that our young people are mindful. They understand what is expected of them on if this is their first job. You want to make sure that you show up on time. You want to make sure that when you show up, you're ready for work. You want to make sure you're not on your phone. You want to make sure that you're in your proper position. You're at your desk, you're at your register, wherever is you're supposed to be when getting ready for your first job. So you want to make sure that you're also on time. You want to make sure that you're early. These are the things that you need to do pertaining to your first job. You do not want to engage in office gossip, water cooler gossip. You do not want to be on your phone. You do not want to engage in any extracurricular activities. If you're depending on the industry that you're in, you do not want to give your friends or family any free food to cause you to lose your job. These are things that's important. You do not want to have a attitude, so to speak, with your manager, leader, supervisor. There's a way to communicate. If you feel like it's going to be combative, you may want to wait until after your shift, you've calmed down, and have the conversation. You do not want to engage in a combative conversation on the floor with your supervisor, and your supervisor should not engage in a combative conversation with you on the floor as well. So it's a two-way street. So again, this is information for our young people if this is their first job. You say, I've already been through this. Okay, but like, comment, tag, and share this video with another young person. If you're going to watch this on the replay, we thank you so very much. But tonight, we wanted to come on and give this information to our young people so they can be prepared and ready for their destined career path. Again, I am Ada Brooks with Ada Brooks Consultant. I thank you all so very much for joining me every week. I know my backdrop is not the same. So I'm on location. I'm still coming to see Granny and check on her. But I thank you all for tuning in every week to get these tips, and make sure you share it with a young person. So until next week, I am your host, Ada Brooks with Ada Brooks Consultant. So come on back and see me next Thursday. We'll have a whole new tip for our young people. I guess for the month of May, we'll do a series for our young people only because they are coming out of college. Some are coming out of high school, and we just want to make sure they're prepared because some people are going to their first job. We do have some young people going to their first jobs. And then we may just necessarily have to give them a refresher course. And all this may be is just a refresher course. So if you're not certain on what you need to do pertaining to your HR needs, you can always reach out to ABC. You can send us an email to abc@abchr101.com. Of course, you can always give us a call at 501-291-1650. So until next week, I am your host, Ada Brooks with Ada Brooks Consultant. Come on back and see me, and I'll see you. Until then, make it a great evening.